Oh, yeah. Okay, I call this meeting to order at 12:13 p.m. Vice President.
Here.
Director of Internal Affairs.
Here.
Director of Finance.
Here.
Director of Student Technology.
Here.
Director of Legislative Affairs.
Present.
Director of Outreach, absent, excused. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
You can
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
All
Okay,
right.
I can go ahead. Okay, sweet. I motion to approve the agenda.
Seconded.
Moved by Alicia, seconded by Ben. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passed unanimously. Approval of the minutes. They have been sent to you. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
I second.
Moved by Moira, seconded by Alicia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Now is the time for public comment. Welcome and thank you to those members of the public who are present today. I can't talk right now. In today's meeting. This segment of the meeting provides the executive board an opportunity to hear new concerns and new perspectives on current issues related to the UW-Tacoma student body. The executive board will neither discuss nor debate topics raised during public comment. This is not because we don't value commenters' perspectives, but to ensure that any related action is taken transparently before a duly notified public at a future meeting. However, directors may ask clarifying questions of those giving public comment or request to meet to gain further insight after the meeting. In addition, ASUWT is committed to fostering a constructive and respectful environment in these meetings. As such, we kindly ask that all remarks made during public comment reflect professionalism, respect, and come from a place of mutual understanding that we're all here to advocate on behalf of students. With that, I begin public forum. And if any members of the public would like to come forward and speak. I'm seeing some head nods. Okay, we will move down. Is it a shake? Okay. Okay, I am just special. So either way, we're going to move forward to new business in which we have an executive session. I'm going to read another fancy script. There we go. And now we enter into executive session as defined by RCW 42.30.110 and section 205.02 of the ASUWT bylaws. An executive session is a closed meeting that allows the board to discuss specific confidential matters such as personnel matters, legal matters, negotiations, or HR-related matters without public presence. The purpose of this is to ensure candid and protected discussions. During this session, the board will be meeting to discuss ASUWT hiring. After the board concludes discussion, we will reconvene in an open meeting. Note that this is only for discussion and votes will be made publicly and transparently in the meeting. With that, I ask for all the members of the public to leave the room to allow for executive session to begin.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll be done with that, but
Is
Can you open the
Christopher?
door? Thank you.
Is Samuel still out there?
Oh, no, I hope so. Okay, we have reconvened after executive session. Is there any action to be taken?
Let me get that document out. I motion to, is it a hire, right? Motion to hire Sithra Mohammed for a multimedia specialist.
Is there a second? Okay. Moved by Alicia, seconded by Ben. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Sifra is going to be offered the multimedia specialist position for spring quarter. Is there any other action to be taken?
I don't know the wording for this.
Hold on. I motion to recommend Kaylee Lawless and Madai Espinoza to the ASUWT Senate for the Social Work and Criminal Justice Senator position.
Is there a second? Moved by Nora, seconded by Ben. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Kaylee and Madai will be recommended to the ASUWT Senate to discuss to appoint for the Social Work and Criminal Justice Senator. Is there any other action to be taken?
I motion to recommend Christopher Escobedo and Gregory Esters to the ASUWT Senate for review for the IAS Senator position.
Is there a second?
I second.
Moved by Nora, seconded by Alicia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Christopher and Gregory will be recommended to the ASUWT Senate for appointment to the IAS Senator position. Great work, guys. Okay, we'll now move forward to the ASUWT Constitution and Bylaw Review, and I'm going to move to the computer. And I don't know if you guys saw the follow-up email that I sent for what I sent last night, but I said something about the bylaw 206.1 because of things related to OPMA. Senate can't actually vote on that tonight, but I would still recommend that we pass that. But anyway, Moira, do we want to start with Constitution first or bylaws?
Bylaws.
Bylaws first.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to come up there with you?
Yeah, you can. So these are the same changes that we discussed earlier on this month, and then changes made after meeting with the directors who indicated that they wanted to make some changes to their positions, and we've included those changes. So we'll just go down the line. Okay. Ignore my comment. So I guess starting off with 206.01, right now the Senate runs into an issue that apparently was in our bylaws, I don't know when it was put in, where in order for hybrid meetings to occur, they need to already have quorum of those who are present in person because of what we've been having with vacancies in Senate. I recommend that we strike the assuming quorum is still achieved in their absence in all mentionings in 206.01, just because the Senate cannot officially meet unless this is striked. Thankfully, tonight we were able to work out a way so the entirety of Senate can meet tonight to vote for divestment all in person with no issues. But going forward, if we have anything else that happens, we need to make sure that we can officially meet and not have any unnecessary delays. Sir, oh, go ahead.
Kind of make a clause recommendation at some point in here as well. Just
Yeah, what's the
so
suggestion?
And maybe it's in there, I'm just not remembering, but maybe putting something in that, like, it's highly encouraged that, like, both Senate and exec are in person, but in situations of that, online, it can be, virtual meetings. But just so that, because we, not with this current administration, but in the
Yeah.
past, there's been the issue of
Yes.
only going to virtual meetings.
Mm-hmm.
At least one person would need to be in person for the public.
Yes.
to take place. So
Yeah.
That supersedes this because it's.
I agree with you, Ben. I think we're kind of covered with the clause here about as determined by the chair.
Oh, okay.
If everyone here, like, we can quickly type something up if we want. It's also shared with you guys.
Staff policy. on that, technically.
Do we?
I sent something out and had Senator sign it.
Okay, then we're good. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a policy, there's a something. And then in the summer, we voted for all meetings to be in person with recording. So I think, at least for this year, we're covered. We've just kind of got screwed with people having to leave their roles. Do we want to keep going here and look at other ones, or do we just want to discuss and then vote, or how do we want to go about doing this?
So the second editing is just to make sure that virtual is an option.
Yes, so currently virtual is an option for Senate, but how we've been interpreting 20601 has been, the Senate can host a virtual meeting or a hybrid meeting, but I guess at some point we just glazed over the whole, assuming quorum is still achieved in their presence part.
Okay.
So this is just fixing it so we're in line with how we've actually been operating.
Okay. Well, I'm okay with making this a change right now.
Okay.
If anyone else is.
Is there a motion?
I motion to approve the recommended changes to 206 bylaw.
I second.
Moved by Alicia, seconded by Moira. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Perfect. Anastasia, did you add things in and just not change the color? Okay. If it was already 48 hours, then I think we're okay. 20801, no candidate for Senate appointment shall hold any other elected or higher compensated position. So this contradicts task forces, since the Senate is proposed to change, like we've discussed before, where the Senate is purely going to be an opinion-making body and will ideally have directors doing the work that senators have been doing. Since basically, if we have a senator in the future that wants to be involved with the task force, since the workload for Senate is going to be significantly less than it is this year, if they want to apply and be a part of a task force, they can. Or another higher position.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
Is there a motion? Oh, I can't say that.
Yeah, you can say it.
Oh.
Or you could just motion, Moira.
Oh crap! Go ahead. If you want to, you can. But I can't. Okay. I motion to approve the recommended changes for 208 of the bylaw. 01. 20801.
I second.
Moved by Alicia, seconded by Moira. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. You're good. 20802. So currently we have it, so a special election must be conducted by the Elections Committee if more than 3 executive board positions are vacant, since the intention is obviously pending constitution change and SAFC approval, we'll have more directors.
Yeah.
So the intention is to have, since we'll have 3 additional directors, making it so 50% of the executive board positions are vacant to have a special election.
What does this particularly change or help with the?
It makes it so if currently, if we're in that weird limbo where if the students approve the constitution change, that makes it so we can have more directors than just us.
Got it.
Then, and we also get funding for these new director positions, the director of social justice and accessibility, or whatever the title is, and then director of undergraduate and graduate affairs. Those will immediately go into effect and be vacant because they can't be campaigned for. So we'll have 3 positions open. And then it will have an election immediately after an election. It just doesn't make sense.
Got it. Okay. Sweet. Then
Motion to approve.
I'm watching.
Are you gonna do
I motion to approve.
it? Sweet. I second.
Moved by Ben, seconded by Alicia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Also, if anyone plans to abstain or something, give me a look. But otherwise, I think we're all unanimous.
Give a look.
Yeah, give me a look or say something. Okay. 20901, it requires that people who resign to deliver a signed copy of their resignation. This never happens. And there's been
Please get rid of this.
instances where when people resign, they literally can't because of whatever's going on in their own personal circumstances.
So how have they been telling you? Just like
They've been
Email.
emailing.
right.
Huh?
Okay.
Just
I motion to approve the changes to 20901.
I second.
moved by Moira, seconded by Alicia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Estacia, when you,
Oh, just because some of the places in the document says a 2/3 majority, and so, and then some said 50% response, I was trying to keep.
okay, okay.
So they didn't change it.
Okay.
Well, no, I didn't change it, I just added it.
You just added the words,
Yeah.
okay. Because this is gonna have to go to Senate to vote, I'm gonna make it a different color. And then we'll need to vote on this. So I guess changes to 210.01 is just a semantic change to make it 50% in one.
I motion to approve the changes to 210.01.
I second.
Moved by Nora, seconded by Moira. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Okay, Senate, this is a big section. Change to 301.01. It introduces the concept of core representatives, which makes it so all of our academic-based senators are core representatives that are elected for, and also breaks up IES. So it's not just one student representing like 3,000 students. It's one student, or you got, I think 5, if I can count, representing the different divisions of IES. And then should the representative change their major or academic unit the representative will be removed from their office. Pre-major senators are accepted. And then, do we just want to go over the entire bylaw thing and then rather than the section?
Yeah, let's all change. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
30102 is the Senate appointment process. Additional senators may be appointed to the Senate to provide representation for student populations that may not otherwise be adequately represented by senators in academic programs. All representatives are entitled to 1 seat. ASUWT recognizes the following as eligible at-large senators. This includes, based off of our discussion and previous suggestions, first-year student senator, transfer student senator, court 17 resident senator, first-generation college student senator, and veteran student senator. Additional at-large Senate representatives may be created with amendments to this section of the ASUWT bylaws. And then section 301.03, this essentially makes it so we no longer hire for senators, Senate does it themselves. So to ensure that all appointed senators can represent their designated demographic effectively, the following process is conducted. 1, letter of interest. Candidates that are interested in a vacant position must submit a written letter of interest to the Speaker of Senate. The Speaker of Senate will then present the candidate to the ASUWT Senate at the following meeting for discussion in executive session whether or not to be moved forward. With a majority vote, the ASUWT Senate may deny or accept an interview with the candidate. Step 2, interview. Once the ASUWT Senate has moved forward to interview a candidate, they will interview the candidate in an upcoming Senate meeting for an interview. This makes sure that whoever we're interviewing is able to meet the established Senate time. Candidates will deliver a 3 to 5 minute pitch outlining their qualifications, goals, and why they're the best fit for the role. Senate will have the opportunity to ask questions to the candidate related to their letter of interest and readiness to fulfill the responsibility. Step 3, appointment. Following the interview, whether in the same meeting or in a future meeting, the Senate may hold a vote to appoint or reject the candidate. A simple majority of seated senators is required for the appointment to be approved. When the ASUWT Senate cannot meet quorum or has less than 7 senators, basically they can't meet, The executive board may conduct this process until the Senate is able to conduct this process themselves. The executive board will ensure that the Senate is well informed. Basically what this section is if we have a year where no one runs for Senate and just exec board is run for, like what happened during COVID, the executive board can step in and make sure that there is a Senate. Otherwise, the Senate is independent and decides who's in their membership themselves. And I have Moira, had anything to add on that?
No.
So an open hiring process. So they're getting invited to Senate's meetings and they know nice.
I would say it's like a hyper open process.
It's a very open process. I like it. Okay.
Any questions or emotions?
So we can't a motion to approve it, the motion to recommend. Or are we still approving?
So regardless of changes to the bylaws, the exec board and Senate need to approve. So the Senate will approve
Okay.
or they'll see this change and they have to vote on it for it to go into effect.
Okay.
Clarification
Yes.
question. When they come in and they're giving their speech and
Mhm.
whatnot, is that, what's it called? The private session or is that public?
I would assume public.
Okay. So yeah.
Scary. Okay, well then can I say the whole bylaw because it's all got changed?
Yeah.
Okay, so I motion to.
It would be 301 membership was the change.
Okay, then I motion to approve the recommended changes for 301 bylaw membership.
I second.
Moved by Alicia, seconded by Moira. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Cool. Okay. Next change is sorry. Are we fine with that? Yeah, that's fine. Section 303.01, this changes the responsibilities of Senate. Basically, like we've been discussing before, Senate becomes the sole opinion-making body of ASUWT like it already is, but that's all they're expected to do. They're not expected to meet with their deans. They're not expected to go and create their own initiatives. That will be for the directors of graduate and undergraduate affairs to do.
Okay.
Questions or motions for approval?
I motion to approve the changes within 303.
I second.
303
301.
or 30301?
30301.
Oh, that don't suck it. Now I suck it.
Moved by Nora,
Second.
seconded by Alicia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. I'm going to try and go a little quicker. 30302, again, just talking about the responsibilities of what senators are supposed to do. So remove additional things that will go to other directors to make Senate purely the voice of the students, like ASUWT, Seattle, and Bothell. Questions, motion for approval.
I motion to approve the changes within 30302.
I second.
Moved by Nora, seconded by Moira. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Okay, section 400, executive board. The new directors that will hopefully be funded and supported, bringing our executive board to 10 voting members. And this just lists them: Director of Undergraduate Affairs, Graduate Affairs, and Director of Equity and Accessibility.
I motion to approve the changes to 400.
I second.
Moved by Moira, seconded by Alicia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Was it? Wait, title where?
No, go down. There. You see the green and the red?
Yeah. I just wanted to see what these were so I can. It's just semantic changes. Okay. Section to 402.02, changes to the ASUWT president job description. You guys will see this a little bit later, but the intention is for the Director of Internal Affairs to be the ones that are meeting with directors, not Vice President. So Vice President could focus more on task forces. And then because the Senate will be more of its own independent body instead of the Director of Internal Affairs meeting with them and getting reports and whatnot, the President would just be working through the Speaker of Senate.
I motion to approve the changes to 40202.
I second.
Moved by Moira, seconded by Nora. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. 402.03, campus organizer in the list of hiring committees.
I motion to approve the changes to 40203.
I second.
Moved by Nora, seconded by Moira. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. You want to talk about your own section?
Sure. The only main thing, going back with what was said, is that Vice President isn't meeting with directors anymore. That would be Internal Affairs. And same thing for the other section, is just removing it.
Since this is a bylaw change, is this like now or no? If the senators.
No, because it has to be.
It would need to be approved by, I guess that's a good point. It would be,
I was like, does that have to be now?
Yeah, I was just.
I
Thinking,
mean,
but the Constitution has to be voted on with the bylaws.
yes.
I mean,
And
voted by
I
legislature.
don't think this is included in the Constitution as the VP meets with directors, but I think that's something we can determine internally
Got it.
about how we want to go about it for the rest of the year.
Just making sure.
But that's a good point.
Even though we're supposed to be following.
Yeah.
The bylaws.
Yes.
I mean, it makes sense about the Constitution because the Constitution needs to go out with
Student body.
the
What
student
does-
body.
What we can also do too, and this was done not with this last constitution, but the constitution prior, is that they approved these changes ahead of time, but they wrote it so in their constitution that this version of the bylaws didn't go into effect until the constitution went into effect.
We could just be approving these to be implemented,
Yeah,
like after commencement.
yeah.
Okay.
So we can, it's not included in this version, but in an old version of the bylaws in this ratification and implementation section, there used to be a section about the bylaws when going from the 2009 to, the 2015 Constitution to this Constitution that had something that said, use these new bylaws when this goes into effect. So I think when we're voting all these, we'll just go with that same thing, so we're not disrupting flow, with the exception of 20601, because that's something that needs to be done now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then I motion to approve this recommendation for 40302.
I second.
Moved by Alicia, seconded by Nora. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. How are we doing on time, guys?
It's 1.
Yeah, one more minute left from
Okay.
1 o'clock, but I don't know.
Are we able to stay?
We're free till 1:30, right?
I'm fine, whatever Connor's okay with. 'Cause I mean,
Okay, are we good to like maybe 1:25 and then you guys can run to class? Is that okay? Okay. Alicia,
yes.
you recommended a change to yours, which is this section.
Oh, yes, I did. I wanted to have a committee for this instead of having to reach out to all y'all individually about recommendations for the SCFC process for our allocation. So I thought about making a committee would be helpful since we have a committee from almost everything we do in this the internal work. So I think having an SCFC committee could be helpful and have the process to be smoother.
Discussion, motions for approval.
I motion to approve. I don't know what section this is.
40502.
Yes, and then I motion to approve the recommendation for 40502.
I second.
Moved by Alicia, seconded by Moira. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously.
Cool.
Susan, do you want to talk on your proposed changes? Do you want me to do it?
I can't really read them from here. What changes did we make? I can't
You had moved the STFC gets formed by the third week of autumn quarter, not the sixth week, and then communicate with academic leadership regarding the technological needs of students and meet regularly with campus department representatives regarding stuff that's funded by the fee before the committee forms.
The last two is just to make sure that everything's running smoothly and to get an idea of where demand is and where resources are before you actually look at proposals. And then you can sort of keep in contact and be like, overseen if anything goes wrong during the proposal process. The first one was because our deadlines are most definitely going to be sooner rather than later. And we can't run into the same thing that I'm dealing with this year where our timeline is a ridiculously short amount of time to get everything done. So those are the changes that are being made.
And then I forgot to do this last night when I was running with my head cut off, but there was a mention of the internal Senate groups, and that's not a thing anymore, so I just strike that right now.
Strike that. It would also be to potentially find other funding to get resources that students need on campus when it comes to technology. That's one of the ones we mentioned.
Cool, yeah. A motion to approve the changes to 40602.
I second.
Moved by Nora, seconded by Moira. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Director of Legislative Affairs.
Aye.
Only change and campus organizer.
Yay.
Motion to approve.
I second.
Moved by Ben, seconded by Alicia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously, and for the record, that was section 407.02.
I love that it's 407 because it's my area code.
Okay,
Florida.
I
lots
still have the
of
same cell number.
changes made to internal affairs, and I'm realizing something I forgot to do that I fell asleep before doing last night. Your bylaw.
Oh. Oop. Uh-oh. It's fine.
Do
Can
we
we
want
come
to?
back to it?
Yeah. Do we want to do this particular one next meeting?
Yeah.
We'll skip.
Oh, wait, I won't be here next meeting, but you can present it if you want.
I'll present. I can.
Yeah. For discussion purposes, Nora recommended a bunch of changes to her position, and one of those includes a performance review section for hired staff.
Mhm.
So we just need to, I got the language, I just didn't put it into bylaw-ese, so I just didn't do that yet. Okay. Our three new director positions. I know you just sat down. I'm sorry. I need to just not yap.
I mean, we went through it before.
I know.
We didn't
I know.
change anything.
Yeah.
So the director of undergraduate affairs, the idea is that they're doing the roles that the senators were doing, but now the director would be doing it instead.
I motion to approve the addition of 409 to the bylaws.
I second.
Moved by Nora, seconded by Moira. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously.
And then director of graduate affairs, very similar thing. For the graduate senator, what they were expected to do is now just move to the director of graduate affairs. And then there's also the idea that we're working with GPSS as well.
Which on that front, they have committed to making sure that we're in their governing documents. I just need to see them through to do it. They have an internal committee that's already working on it and drafting up language. So they say they're tri-campus, so let's actually have a representative in their meetings.
Perfect.
I motion to approve the bylaw 410.
I second.
Moved by Nora, seconded by Moira. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passed unanimously.
Wait. These numbers are messed up.
I'll fix the numbers. That's fine.
But technically, aren't you? We should change it before we say it.
Okay, it's 401.
411?
Yeah.
Okay.
What I say.
You said four. Do you say? Never mind. Okay. Director of Equity and Accessibility. So an idea of having a director that's focused on DEI, but not using DEI wording. They would also be in charge of help out with the Inclusive Access Task Force. We would also have a committee. And then also they would chair the idea committee. That's,
That's in the
Also-
process of being formed.
yeah, and all the tri-campus inclusion committees that are already made.
Which in the case of this year, that's like the campus climate committee that's working on the campus climate survey. That's the one that you went to, but I'm blanking on the name right now. There's a handful. Motion for approval.
I motion to approve the addition of bylaw 411.
I second.
Moved by Nora, seconded by Alicia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. While I'm thinking about it, is there a blanket motion to approve whatever number changes need to be made? Since I didn't add it here.
What do you want the word?
A motion to, is there a motion to approve numbering changes in grammar semantic things to
So
to the
moved.
bylaw?
Oh, she so moved it. I second.
Okay, moved by Nora, seconded by Alicia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Thank you. That will save us from having to vote on every single one. Hired staff, 502 or 50002.
I motion to approve the change to 502.
I second.
Moved by Nora, seconded by Moira. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Yeah, I just want to see.
There was a thing for campus organizer. I see. Oh.
Estacia, I just see there's things here, so I'm going to highlight because these are new and bigger.
Yeah, I thought it was doing the traffic changes.
No, you're good. That's fine. Changes to 50101.
I motion to approve the changes to 50101.
I second.
Moved by Nora, seconded by Moira. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Why aren't you in here? Community organizer.
What about it?
Yeah.
Approve?
You're not going to give a whole presentation of the others?
Community organizer, assist ASUWT officials and child build.
We're, I'm just
I'm just-
double checking. I mean, we
yeah.
probably.
I've shown
this
it
is
to you
probably
before.
everything that we went over
Yeah.
before anyway. Yeah, looks good.
It
I
just-
motion to approve.
They just work.
Motion by Ben. Is there a second?
I second.
Moved by Ben, seconded by Nora.
Aye.
All those in favor say
Aye.
all. Motion passed unanimously.
Aye.
We're almost done. We're almost done.
And now she said
Aye.
it. That was good.
Bro.
Brain broke.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're almost
for
done.
real.
This is election stuff, which we didn't touch. These are
Okay.
semantic,
I might just take 2 classes.
internal finance. That's the same. Task forces. That's the same.
No, because I forgot.
Look at those other.
I might just take 2. Yeah, because I'm not finding anything else in both of those. Like one's a 400 level and one's a 300 level. And I'm like, I'm not.
Oh, it's this one. This is to
Oh, this
so
is-
we can hire
Yeah.
for
African
people.
American.
Okay, this is a big one.
I think
This
so.
is a big one here. So this is post-election hiring processes. So we're able to set up the next year's administration and future years' administrations for success. So they're not having to recruit for positions and hire them when students aren't here, basically. So I'm going to just go through all of them since it's kind of long. But I'll be brief. So the purpose of this is to ensure a smooth transfer of power while providing the incoming administration with the opportunity to prepare for the upcoming academic year regarding hired staff. At the conclusion of the ASUWT election in spring, after the results have been confirmed and announced, the outgoing and incoming administrations should establish regular communications to coordinate a seamless transition of power. The incoming vice president, president, and director of internal affairs are provided the following 2 opportunities to participate in the hiring processes for the upcoming academic year's hired staff. Option number 1, collaborating with the outgoing administration. The incoming president, vice president, director of internal affairs may permit the outgoing administration to begin the hiring process for the following year's staff positions following the ASUWT hiring policies as outlined in the bylaws. In doing so, the following would occur. 1, the incoming president, vice president, director of internal affairs will serve on the hiring committee by reviewing and interviewing candidates for the hired staff positions with the outgoing administration. The incoming and outgoing administration may be selective regarding which positions to hire for prior to the incoming administration assuming office. Example, they don't have to hire for all hired staff. They could just choose one. Primary example, legislative liaison. As outlined in the ASUWT bylaws, all hired staff are decided by the ASUWT exec board. The incoming administration members are encouraged to attend the exec board meetings where hiring decisions are being made to ensure their preferences are voiced. However, the incoming administration retains the authority and final hiring decisions through their vote. By selecting this choice, the incoming administration understands that their participation in the hiring process is compensated as they are not formally in their roles until commencement.
You said compensated.
Uncompensated. I misspoke. Option number 2, deferral of hiring authority. The incoming president, vice president, internal affairs waive their right to begin the hiring process for the incoming administration's hired staff while the outgoing administration is still in office. In doing so, the following would occur. 1, the incoming administration may work with the ASUWT advisor, not advisory, may work with the ASUWT advisor to ensure that the job postings for the upcoming academic year are prepared and published on Handshake prior to commencement. However, this is not required. The outgoing administration is prohibited from interviewing candidates or contacting candidates for hired staff positions in the incoming administrations during this time. So if I were to make this simple, option number 1, incoming administration on a voluntary basis can work with the incumbent administration regarding hiring. However, the incumbent administration still makes those decisions because that's the only way we're able to get it through. Or option 2, they can make the decision of no, we don't want your help. We'll do it ourselves when we're in office. And then in 1502, the incoming president, vice president, directorial affairs shall decide on which option they would like to pursue within 10 school days after the election results have been confirmed in a written agreement. The written agreement will consist of the selected option. If option 1 is selected, which positions will be hired for, an acknowledgement of the incoming administration that they are aware that they will not be financially compensated, signatures from all relevant parties, and a copy of the signed agreement will be digitized and shared, including the ASUWT advisor. If no decision is documented within the required timeframe, the outgoing administration will default to option 2, which is that they won't hire until they're formally in office. Any questions? I know that was a lot.
Verification of election results verification. Verified or when the write-in candidates are verified?
I mean, if you have a president, vice president, internal affairs confirmed whether or not they're a write-in or not, then.
So just those 3 speaking.
Questions, comments, motions?
I motion to approve 1500.
Second.
Moved by Moira, seconded by Ben. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Okay. Constitution is much shorter, I promise. Yes, you can sit down.
Are we sure?
Yes, I promise. Okay. Change to section 01 or Article 4 Executive Board, Section 1 makes it so the 7 executive board members we have right now are considered core members, and then the size and composition of the executive board may expand to include additional director positions as outlined in the ASUWT bylaws. So it makes it so we can fluctuate based on whether or not we're funded by SAFC for a particular position or whichever. Gets us more flexibility.
I motion to approve the change to Article 4 in the Constitution.
I second.
Article 4, Section 1.
Article 4, Section 1. Okay. Moved by Nora,
Second.
seconded by Alicia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Change to vice president over, it says oversee the executive board, as we discussed in the bylaws, that becomes director of internal affairs responsibility.
What is this? This is still Article 4.
This is the
Section-
job description in the Constitution for VP.
I know, but what's the like?
Oversee
I motion
the
to approve-
productivity
no,
of
no,
the
no, like, what do I say? I
Oh,
motion to-
sorry. Section 6, which I guess also includes director of student technology changes, which is the exact same as the bylaws. And then yours, which already includes the quarterly performance evaluations. So even if we table or don't talk about the bylaw itself yet, we're still good constitution-wise. And then, so the changes to internal affairs, student tech, and VP.
Okay. And this is Article 4, Section 6.
Yes.
Okay, I motion to approve the changes to Article 4, Section 6.
I second.
Moved by Nora, seconded by Alicia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Senate, as we discussed, making it so it's no longer just the academic stuff. They also have appointed at-large people. Motion would probably be amendments to Article, what is that, 5, 4, 3, whatever Roman numerals. Yeah, because there's no other changes there.
So we're done.
Any motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve
Article 6 of the Senate, or Article 6 of the bylaws,
So this is Constitution.
of the Constitution, whatever.
Is there a second? I know we're
I
tired.
second.
Moved by Ben, seconded by Nora. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. I think we are good. Yay. Thank God. Okay.
I got class in 10 minutes.
I don't, that's okay. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Some of this may get kicked back if the Senate doesn't want or has some minor changes, but I think generally we're pretty good. Okay. Director updates. Anyone have anything they want to share?
Not really. Just keep on doing your early tracking forms, please. I have a fun little update from STFC. So our public meeting stuff and documents did not properly get done. So none of that counted. Connor, did we need to revote in exec session for STFC special allocations? We will need to do that next week again, once we get it voted this Friday. And then I can't remember what else Connor wanted me to talk about, but someone else can jump in.
Okay, if nothing else, advisor updates.
Agendas are going to need to be done earlier for everything for the rest of the year. So if you have agenda items, start thinking about them right up these weekends for next week. Yeah,
They're gonna be sent out Monday mornings.
so make sure it's going to save them
Lovely.
for those or something. So make sure that any agenda items for upcoming weeks are given to Constitution. We need to get them to OPM and
Oh, and we always,
business days.
and it's the can't.
So, the,
Yeah. That's one. You may not change.
so, make sure that everything's on there and it's business days, so make sure that is taken into account. Sorry, Sundays don't count.
No change. Okay, sorry.
I think it's just more about doing. Okay. Chair updates. I don't got none. I know y'all want to go. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Moira, seconded by Nora. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Goodbye.
Bye.